What up, guys? This is Precious Stick, bringing you guys a Madden NFL 18 gameplay video. Today we're going to be breaking down the 91 zone thresholds and showing you guys how effective they are. We have four guys here. Talib has 93 play rec, 90 zone coverage. Chris Harris has 93 play rec, and 91 zone coverage. Bradley Roby has 93 play rec, 87 zone coverage. And then we put Langley with 59 play rec and 91 zone coverage. So we're really going to compare zone coverage to play rec, which one you want to go after. So in these beginning clips, we have Juju Smith-Schuster, who is just, I think he has like 80 some speed right now and like 70 some route running, going up against cover 3. The first clip there was Chris Harris. This is a hard flat coverage with no press coverage. We are base aligning on some plays, and we're just cycling through Chris Harris, Talib, Roby, and Langley. I think I run like one play each with each of these guys. And in the beginning clips here, you're going to see there's not much difference. Chris Harris, with the 91 zone compared to the other three, I will say Chris Harris probably was a little bit closer to Juju Smith-Schuster, but there wasn't really much difference as far as coverage goes to say 91 zones is the winner. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change it up and we're going to press coverage. So it's still the same defense. We're still going to run the cover 3 hard flat coverage, and now we're pressing. And even in a cover 3, when you press, it doesn't really seem like it makes much of a difference. For whatever reason, it doesn't make much of a difference. If that was cloud flat coverage underneath, it probably would have been stopped by the 91 zone, and it probably would have been stopped by the corners that do not have 91 zone. So, as you can see in these clips, it looks like the same clip over and over again. The biggest thing with 91 zones, in my opinion, is that they react a whole lot quicker. They just are closer to the play, and they react a little bit quicker. In a competitive game, that could make, that could be the difference of winning and losing a game. Being one step closer, being 1 second faster sometimes is a difference in a ball game. So if you're playing competitively and you're trying to get every slight advantage you can, then you should go and get 91 zone guys. If you're just playing competitively, or maybe like slash for fun, and you're just trying to build a team and you don't want to spend so much coins on these 91 zone guys, then you could go either way. Just having a good corner out there that doesn't have 91 zone, he'll still play well. And something that I'm realizing, like right there, that was press coverage. That's Chris Harris with the 91 zone, and that was out of a cover 4 with hard flat coverage underneath. Now, that may be obvious to you guys that a cover 4 press is going to play corner routes. That's how most people will stop corner routes. But honestly, yes, Chris Harris picked that off, but I feel like if you press coverage with other corners that do not have 91 zone, you're going to get very similar play from your cornerback just by pressing. Now, some of these clips here, like the guys that don't have 91 zone, they're not jumping it, but they're in position, they're in the vicinity of the ball, and as long as you could click onto your DB, you can make a user pick. A lot of these cornerbacks put you in position, but they may not jump it, but they rely on you to press the circle button, the B button on Xbox, toggle on, and come down and make a user pick. They're in perfect position in a cover 4 press, and it doesn't matter if they're 91 zone or if they're 83 zone. They're in great position when you press coverage, and that's something that I'm starting to realize, that when you press coverage, these DBs play a lot like 91 zones. They're going to be in the right area, the right zone. But it requires you to press coverage, and sometimes you don't always want to press on every single play. If you're going up against that most feared Randy Moss, you might not want to press him because he has 94 speed. So that's where the downfalls come in when you're trying to, get every slight advantage you can, and you don't have a 91 zone and you press coverage, because that's one way to make DBs play better with corner routes, is to press coverage. So it just depends on what defense you play and what you're trying to run. Now here we're going to come out of shotgun, and we're going to try a tactic that has been brought by other YouTubers recently, where they put a streak and then they put a post, and it's supposed to clear out that zone, which it does, But with Chris Harris or anybody with 91 zone, they're going to jump that route if there's a fast receiver in the slot. He doesn't even have to be fast. He just has to be, you know, decent speed. They're going to come down and they're going to react a lot quicker. Now, if you put somebody in there that's a lot slower, like say a tight end with 70-some speed, they're going to react way slower because that receiver is slower, and for whatever reason they react slower, and you're able to fit that into the window. Like that right there is Antonio Brown with, you know, he's one of the best receivers on the regular rosters, and he can't even get open and complete, you know, he can't even catch it. So here we go ahead and we put in Vance McDonald, who's a lot slower than Antonio Brown, and as you can see, we throw it when he breaks, and there's a window there. There's a pocket that you could throw that in, and this is something that you're going to be able to do to counter the 91 zones, or for that matter, even zones that are pressing you that aren't 91 zone. It doesn't matter if it's a cover 3, cover 4, you're going to be able to complete this. Now, something that I don't touch on in this video is cover 2, soft squat, cloud flats. It doesn't matter who you got out there, 91 zones, 85 zones, you know, if you're running a cover 2, Tampa 2, they're most likely going to take away these corner routes just because they're playing the outside. Now, something that I have come to realize and come to see just by playing the game is that if you go up against a Tampa 2 with a cloud flat or soft flat and you run a quarter route, yes, they're going to take it away. But if you have enough time and you wait long enough, eventually they come down, and eventually that post will be open down the sideline. So if you're playing somebody that just likes to call a lot of coverage defense, doesn't like to rush people, and he's in a cover 2, eventually, if you wait long enough, those corner routes are going to be open. But it's not something that you can consistently rely on if someone's bringing coverage, bringing pressure out of a Tampa 2 cloud flat coverage or a soft squat coverage. So I guess to wrap up this video, yes, if you could get 91 zone guys, they're going to give you an advantage. They just react quicker. They put you in position, but there are ways around it. I don't think you need 4 91 zone guys on your field. Even if you're playing competitively, say you're playing salary cap, I don't think it's 100% needed to say, hey, you got to have 4 91 zone guys or you can't compete with the best. I don't think that's the case. Depending on what type of defense you call, what type of scheme you like to run, there's a lot you could do, and you could save cap by not going with a 91 zone guy and going with a little bit lesser guy and putting that cap into a different position. There's ways around it. But 91 zone, yes, they play great. They're going to give you an advantage, but there are ways around it. And depending on your scheme, depending on what you run, it doesn't really matter, about the 91 zone. So I hope this helped you guys out. I hope this didn't confuse anybody. And I'm going to be bringing out more videos here soon, breaking down some other things like power move and finesse move and what you want to go after. But again, to wrap it all up, get 91 zone if you can, but you don't need 4 of them on the field, even if you're playing competitively. All right, guys, until next time, peace out.